coming out and winging it and not being nervous. She actually looks nervous tonight. I'm not nervous. But thank you all for coming out tonight. I know how busy you are. It really, truly does mean a lot to me to have you here and be part of this excitement with me. First, I want to mostly thank Elisa for staring me down in meetings and saying, "Do you want to run?" I'd feel the heat from across the room. I'm like, I gotta think about it. I gotta think about it. And then she would proceed to call me, and I would ignore her calls. And I had to speak to my husband at length about, are we going to do this? This is, it's not just me. It's a family project. My kids have to deal with me doing this, and we have to kind of have this decision made between all of us. And so it took a lot of soul searching and a lot of discovery to think about whether I wanted to do it. But what really made me want to do it is the support that I had before I even announced. So I really want to thank those people close to me, mostly the DDWC, the Dutchess Democratic Women's Caucus, that I've been involved with, specifically Deborah and Maria, who are here somewhere. They said, if you run, we will support you, we'll be there for you, and we will be the first 2 people to write you checks. And guess what? They were the first 2 people to write checks, and they were very generous checks. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. It really made me feel like I could do this with the support of them. I want to thank my friends for helping to set up, Wendy and Carrie and my daughter Alyssa. Ben Chan, I don't know if he's still here, but they had a school for letting me use the facility here. It's a beautiful building. We were up, well, not up, I wasn't up last night, but these were down to the wire last night, so thank you Frank Mazzella and Michael Dupree and Elisa for helping us to put these bomb cards together for today. My dear friend Carrie, who helped get the website live 10 minutes before this event. So robinlois.com, you can contribute, and if you don't know what's going on tonight, you can read more about me there. And they always say, when you want to get something done, ask a busy person. So my busy person is Marie Wainwright, my dear friend and confidant, who has been sitting with me in my office discussing the do's and the don'ts and should I for hours relentlessly. I asked her to be my treasurer, and without a blink, she absolutely said yes. And I know she has no time to do it, but she's a good friend, and thank you, You can see I have 2 not so little, but kind of little children, and I could not possibly even consider doing this without the very tremendous amount of work and help that Courtney, where is she? Courtney? She just said, don't you hide. Courtney, I could not run without you, so thank you for all the help at home, supporting me and my family, and sitting next to her, Helene, who's known, I've been a grandmother to my kids since they were born. Thank you both for giving me the ability to come and do this position, so thank you for your help.
That's because we love you.
But most of all, to my family, who has put up with my endless ambitions, and I know my husband was very reluctant at first, but I had to twist his arm, and he came around, and I would not do this unless he was supporting me. So I thank you, Dale and Alyssa and Derek, for being there for me. So now where am I? So when is a good time? Our kids are doing great. Our businesses are stable. I have help at home. Everything's running smoothly, so I figured, what better time than now to mess that all up in my office. so here we are. But it's been a personal goal for me and a journey, and it feels like the next logical step for me in my career. In 2012, I began with a 10-year plan. I sought out advice from the DDWC women who have been my mentors, and somehow that 10-year plan has turned into a 5-year plan somehow. But it was really important for me to go from the accounting that I had done and the background that I've had to now doing something more in a civic sense and giving back with my skills. Also in 2012, it really hit me how important the community, how important one person's actions in a community can really be. My father, who passed away in 2012, he was a volunteer firefighter, he was a volunteer paramedic, he was on the town board, and he gave back to to the community daily. I didn't understand it as a kid when he would run out in the middle of the night to go to a fire, but when he passed, I found myself going back to my hometown to collect commendations and memorials in his honor for the work that he had done. And it really made me look at my life differently and assess what my future was and what I wanted to do. And I'm too scared to fight fires, and I hate the sight of blood. But I am good with numbers and budgets and business practices, and so this brings me to the Office of Comptroller. I really feel like this is something that I can do and that I can contribute to and do a good job for you. So besides being ready on a personal level, I also needed to feel comfortable that the county was ready for a change and ready to elect a Democratic woman. One thing that we can thank our current president for is this awakening of people to get involved in our local federal government. There is an unprecedented wave of activism all over the country and here in Dutchess County. In my 5 years of being on the executive committee of the DDWC, I have not seen the amount of insurgents of women and to our DDWC group, to our LaGrange committee. Our committee has doubled. And all these pop-up groups, Indivisible and such, that people are really excited to make a change and to make a difference. So I really do feel like the county's ready to help me, and not only me, but the rest of the people on the ticket to really make a change. So I feel like that energy helped me to make the decision, and I think that in November we're going to have a voice and that we can get there. I just want to give you a little bit of my experience and my past background, so you can actually feel comfortable in my experience. But I began my career actually as a teenager in an entry-level position as a CPA, in a CPA firm, not as a CPA, in Monticello, New York, which is where I grew up in Fallsburg in Sullivan County. After realizing I had a knack for accounting, I decided to pursue the education that I needed in order to become a CPA. I worked a full day at the firm, and then I drove here to Newburgh 4 nights a week, which is an hour away from where I was, to go to night school to get my bachelor's in order to sit for the CPA exam. So I put myself through college, and when I finished college, I moved to Rockland County so that I could get my auditing experience needed for the CPA exam, and I worked in Rockland for the largest CPA firm there. I worked with many clients in many different industries in Rockland, Westchester, New York City, and New Jersey. And after almost 10 years in public accounting, I got burnt out from long seasons and long hours of doing taxes, which is right now, so I'm glad I'm not doing that. I decided to change my hand and try covert accounting. So I ended up joining Pepsi Bottling Group in Somers, and I worked as a cost accountant there. While I was Pepsi, I worked in the finance department, both in accounting, and I did system implementation. I helped to build their whole general ledger infrastructure and program, as well as my next project was helping them to build an inventory project. And that brought me to travel all over the country for Pepsi Bottling. I did for 2 long years of living out of a suitcase, where I would go to the production plants and the warehouses and teach them how to use the inventory system, train them, and then also evaluate what they were doing and make sure that they were following best practices, and then write reports to the management from my observations and assessments. And then after getting tired of traveling for 2 years, I ended up getting a great opportunity in New York City in 2000, working as an implementation manager for a startup company that was a .com virtual accountant. It was a very new wave, and it didn't last. But it was really cool at the time. So I was living in White Plains, and again, then I was commuting up to Mount St. Mary again in order to get my master's, my MBA. So that was not an easy commute as well, but I got my MBA, and I witnessed 9/11. I was working in the city at the time. I was in my conference room when the buildings fell, and so I was there, which changed everything, the dynamics in New York City. The company that I worked for ended up going out, and I